Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. It is Thursday, the 23rd of July. 18 more days until the election. Welcome to Pep Talks in the Morning. My name is Felicia Holder, Chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party and your candidate for Diego Martin Central. This morning, we continue our series of interviews with our PEP candidates. And joining me on the program this morning are two young ladies. The first one that I'm interviewing being Rohani Zabedin. Now, Rohani is the candidate for Couva North, and she is all about business, a master at balancing the books. She's the Progressive Empowerment Party's treasurer. I'm sure that's some new information for some of you guys. Having obtained a diploma in management, Rohani believes the key to good management is about being empathetic, people oriented, and having a passion for success. She truly believes that the collective is stronger than the individual. As she says, if we work together, there's nothing we can't achieve. This is why she values the importance of family. Family members teach each other, serve one another, and share life's joys and sorrows, and lift you up when you are down. These are the traits she hopes to bring to her constituency: support, success, and understanding. Please join me in welcoming Rohani Usha, we know her as Usha, but Rohani Dabedin, our candidate for Couva North. Good morning, Rohani.
Good morning, Felicia. Thank you for having me here this morning. It is so strange to hear you say Rohani. Accustomed you
I
calling me Usha.
know, I know you
Yeah.
as Usha, and I have known you as Usha for nearly 4 years, but your legal name is Rohani, and on your ballot paper, it's going to have to be Rohani. So let the public hear and get to know Rohani. But in my heart of hearts, you would always be Usha.
So I give you all something new to practice saying, Rohani.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I will practice when I see you. You come into the motorcade today?
um, I'll see what I could do because I have to go on my walk this evening for 3 o'clock. So I don't know if you all will be finished by then.
Well, you can join us for the first part of the morning, drive behind us, and then leave off when you have to. Yeah. All right. So, Rohani Usha Dabdin. Rohani Dabdin, you are in the hot seat. All right. This is not a very hot seat. It's very lukewarm, I might say. I know you've been watching the show and watching the previous guests we interviewed. Before I go on with the interview session, please, guys, if you're watching the program, hit share, forward to all your groups, all your pages, so that everybody can see our interviews with our PEP candidates this morning. So, Rohani, let's start off. Tell us about your constituency of Hoover North. I know you've been on the ground mapping out the area. Do you know any information that you have about Hoover North?
Couva North is a very big constituency. I think from driving around, I drove around all the borders to get a fair idea of where everything is. And Couva North, I think from what I see, 3/4 of Couva North is prime land. And this is the
Mm,
one thing that struck me when I saw it. We have so much land. Couva could actually be the food hub for this country. I think
wow.
I understand. I think most of the lands in Couva are the Caroni lands.
Mm,
So they were supposed to be given out, if that to the people, whoever, but nothing has been done with it. So you have
mm,
all the bare land, and it is so beautiful when you drive around and you see all this green. It is so beautiful, but to change it and to get people to understand that their constituency could work and could benefit the country and benefit themselves is to get them to understand that. Because
yeah.
they right now are still UNC, if I should say. So they believe that UNC will do everything for them. And I am there. I have to try now to show them that they're not getting what they deserve. They're not getting what they
Yeah.
ask for. break that into them because they're not happy, but they don't have a choice.
Or they think they don't have a choice. They don't know they
Yes,
have a choice yet.
yes,
But Usha, what you just said there about that Carney land, I mean, the UNC had 5 years in office, and I remember they campaigned on bringing back and giving out Carney land, and in the 5 years in office, the only thing that they left in their wake, in their legacy, was corruption and mismanagement, and nothing for the people.
exactly. Nothing for the people. From what I understand from some of the constituents, um, pipelines and different lines, they run it through the lands. So they started putting in infrastructure, but after that, nothing was done with it. So who exactly benefited from that? Not the big
Hmm.
person who was given the contract to put in the infrastructure, and when time to
Yeah,
actually give the people and let them benefit from it, nothing was done.
very sad. All right.
Yeah.
So tell us. Oh, go ahead. Any more to add to that?
No, just basically that they need to see that they are not benefiting from it, from the way they vote.
Indeed. All right. Tell us about the work that you're doing on the ground right now. I know yesterday you had a drive through your area. What are some of the activities that you're doing? You're walking about, you're having motorcades, you're meeting the people, and tell us if you are, how is that going? What's the response to you been so far?
Oh, the response is very nice. These people are so, it is nice to offer them something, but it is so sad at the same time to see how these people are so frustrated and they literally lost hope because they don't see a way out. They don't see that they could change. A lot of the people I talk to say flat out they don't vote because there's nothing to vote for. They have no, they see nothing changing. So I'm trying to convince them that I could make a change. The Progressive Empowerment Party in government could make a change, but it'll take some time. But when they see us and they hear some of our plans, they're happy with it. So hopefully they may, between now and August 10th, they might have some time to think about it and realize that they have a choice now apart from just the UNC and the PNM.
Indeed. All right. So, what are some of the major issues facing Couva North?
First and foremost, infrastructure. The few places that they have, basic, the roadway, the whole of Couva North, driving through that whole constituency, I may need a car when I am finished.
Hmm.
But the roads, bad. It is beyond. The people say flat out, their roads has never been paved in years. And it's more than just the 5 years that their road has ever been paved. The infrastructure is bad. There is overgrown lands all over the place. The people are frustrated, they have no jobs. But yet they know the kind of jobs that they want to do, but there's just no opportunity for them. I spoke to some of the fishermen. You should see the facilities that these people have to work with and the struggles that they go through. And they want to do things. They're not asking for handouts. They want to work. They want to make an honest living. They're just not being given the opportunity. They
Yeah.
have a couple of them. One of the farmers was saying everybody have empty land next to them. They went and they clean out part of the land just for themselves, for their family, and they planting on the land. But of course, all these small towns, they have the communities and the community leader. And of course, the community leader come through with whatever tractor or big equipment that they have and break down these people crops, whatever they grow in. Clear away their land and tell them flat out that is not for them, you know. So even though they're trying to do things in an honest way, they're still being stopped by their own people in the constituency. So there's a lot of corruption there also.
Mm.
So it's a lot of things. Jobs and infrastructure are the two main things that Cuba facing right now.
And it seems to be a running. I can almost anticipate. I could almost say before a guest comes on the program what the issues are going to be, because it seems to be a running trend. I mean, of course, if the constituency varies a little bit, so Hoover North has more agricultural land as Port of Spain South, but it almost seems as if the issues are the same: poor infrastructure, bad roads, corruption. And when we say corruption, it's because every single citizen system in this country seems to have been broken, and it infiltrates and it finds its way all the way down into these little small towns and communities in ways that you would never anticipate, but it happens.
Is Yeah, and
Yeah.
you really need to give these people some hope that it could fix. And that is what I like. That is what drew me to Pep in the first place. Because Pep had solutions to everything. And that is what gave me the courage to stand up and to get involved, because I actually started to see hope that this country could be saved. Because I love my country. I love driving around. I love seeing the landscape, and it is so beautiful. When I drove around Cuba, apart from looking at the land and seeing agriculture, you look at videos. I mean, the internet allows you to see everything around the world. So why can't you see that things working out there? And we could have it down here too. You look at videos and pictures of landscape covered in botanical gardens. Everything is these florals. It's just, I don't know how to describe it, but I could just see Hoover North being developed for so many different things for this country.
I love your vision for Cuba North, Rohani, and I think the people on the ground will certainly appreciate that vision that I don't think any government in the past 58 years has ever had for Cuba North, or else it would not have been neglected and abandoned in the way it has been abandoned and left to grow, raise a grass, when it could be literally the food hub of Trinidad and Tobago and even the Caribbean. From all of the lands, I drove there a couple of times as well, and I agree with you. One of the things you have to appreciate is the beauty of the scenery of Hoover North. It really is a beautiful constituency, and it's a shame that it's been neglected. But I know under a Progressive Empowerment Party, particularly Rohani Dabadine as their representative for the area, we would have so much planned and so much productivity coming from a constituency, from a community that has long been left behind. Yeah. All right. So, if you can fix 1 to 3 major issues, and I know you mentioned some of them, what would they be in order of priority? Which ones would you fix or
In order of price,
address?
first thing, infrastructure. They need proper infrastructure. Their roads, the fishermen need proper roads. The fishermen need drainage. They talk about the flooding and the rivers. The last time the river was dredged was over 5 years ago, and they have been begging for that. They know how to fix it. They are just asking to be given the equipment to do it, and they will do it, but they get nothing. So the first thing I would look at is fixing the infrastructure in that community. A basic thing as the roads. I went to, what you call this, Waterloo temple, the temple by the
Mhm.
sea. You should see how beautiful that place is. I mean, I we have it as a national attraction, a tourist attraction,
Yeah.
and honestly, I was just I went there. because the tables, a simple thing as the tables and chairs, the maintenance of the land around, there was just bush all around, and all the tables and chairs, these concrete tables and chairs, they're broken for years. You could see it just put down there for years. There's absolutely no maintenance in that area. And, I am amazed at how photographers can take pictures of the temple in the sea and make it look like such a beautiful thing. And when you actually go there and see it, it is a disappointment. I was disappointed because there's so many different ways I could see that place being improved,
Hmm.
you know. So if the people were just given the opportunity and to fix these places, make it tourist attraction, they will feel proud of their community. So you start off by fixing the infrastructure, give them that, and then by that you give them jobs. There's so much opportunity for jobs in that area. Everybody is looking for something. They will do anything right now. So give people a chance to build back their community, make them feel proud, empower them to take charge, fix their community. So those are the first things that I will try and see and fix to bring back that.
Love that, Ushan. Very well said. And I can feel your passion coming out for Couva North already. And if you were to win on your passion alone, I swear you are already ahead of the race. Moving on into our remaining questions for this interview. Which pop, which pep policy resonates the most with you and why?
All right. All of the policies resonate with me.
Ah,
Right
good
now,
answer.
right now the infrastructure resonates with me. But the first thing that brought me to PEP and the first thing that resonated with me before I became a candidate was education. I feel for education. I am a mother, I am a parent, and I went through the school system with my children. And I remember even when I was in secondary school, and even back then, they keep saying that they were going to remove SEA. Back then, it was common entrance. And one of the administrations came in and they rearranged it. And in their portfolio, or whatever you call it, they said that they were going to remove common entrance. But all I saw was that they changed the name and they changed the way that the children were being marked. And that's all. And people were proud of that. They applauded them for that. Oh, they fixed the common entrance. I didn't see it changing. We still had common entrance. We just call it SCA now. These poor children were still under stress at 10 years old. And it broke my heart years ago. I literally cried when you hear a 10-year-old child take their life because they can't handle the stress. They just feel that their life is ended if they don't pass this exam. That broke my heart. So I always said back then, if it's one thing I would love to change in this place is our education system. Because out in the world there, everybody else have a good working system. Our system is flawed. And that is the first thing I would want to see completely scrapped and changed.
Very passionate words explaining that, Usha. All right. So, in your own words, why do you think that the Progressive Empowerment Party is the best political vehicle right now in Trinidad and Tobago? And why are you a candidate for the PP?
PP is the best political party right now because they have plans and they have policies. They have solutions for everything. And unlike the other parties, PP policies, from my interpretation, it fixes the country from the ground up. The other parties fixing the country from the top down. So you're seeing all these big contracts and all these big deals happening. And it's looking like we are a first world country from out there, but down here, the ground level to the people, It is not. Whatever they are doing at the top is not infiltrating and coming down to the people. It is not benefiting the people. It is only benefiting them at the top. PP proposes to fix it from the ground up. And that is what I think is different. The people of Couva North could understand that a PP government could fix it from them, starting with the small communities, giving the family hope. And if I could get them to see that, I think we stand a chance. I intend to literally get everybody to understand that PP is there to fix from the ground up. And I hope that they could see that before the 10th, August the 10th, and give us that chance.
Usha, anyway, I'll save this for the end because I have one more question. Well, not a question for you. I'm actually giving you this opportunity now to take a few minutes and speak to your constituents of Hoover North. Tell them why they should vote for you, why they should vote for the Progressive Empowerment Party. The floor is yours to speak to your constituents.
All right. To the constituents of Couva North, all these years you have been voting one. You've been voting based on party and based on tribe. And you need to look around and realize that it has not benefited you in any way. Nothing. You vote them in, you see them, and then you don't see them for the next 5 years. Every single person I have spoken to on the ground, they have never seen the MP from both administrations if they serve any time there. They have never seen their MP, and that is their main cry for help. They have never seen their MP. A PEP government proposes to decentralize the government. So if I am voted into office, I will be there working with the people of Couva North. I will be the one responsible for making sure that everything that you want in your constituency, it is my responsibility to get it done. And the good thing about PEP is we stand for public reform. So even if I am not performing my duty, you have a right to change. You can you can fire me, you can go back to what you had before. But I can assure you that everything we do, we will fix this country. A PEP government will work for the people. That is what we're there for. The people not working for us. We have to work for them. And that is what I think I will say to them. Hopefully they will understand.
Wish I wish that election day was today and that I was in the constituency of Couva North because I would vote for you in a heartbeat. And the comment that I was saving for the end is one you have made me so extremely proud. I feel like your mommy because Usha is, like I said at the beginning of this show, she's the treasurer of the party and she has been working very closely alongside me. And when she stepped up to the plate of candidate. I know it was a shift from the administrative role into the executive role, but it's something that I'm seeing you and I'm watching you and I'm paying close attention. I'm seeing you take on this challenge with such grace, with such fervor, with such I don't know. I'm so extremely proud right now. You have no idea, like no idea. And I swear, if I could cast my vote for anybody, I would definitely, and this is not ignoring our other 26 amazing PEP candidates, but if I was from Couva North, I would certainly vote for you. And you really appealed to the ground, you appealed to the constituency of Couva North, which has been neglected for too long, way too long, and your passion alone, like I said, is more than they have gotten since they've been so neglected with regards to just having visible and representation that actually pays attention to the people. Ucha, I wish you all the best. We are at the end of your interview. I'm sure you didn't realize it would fly so quickly, right?
Yes, it did. It fly.
Wait,
And I
yes.
survived.
And you survive. You more than survive. You've hit it out of the park. You hit it for six. Thank you for coming on this morning. I wish you all the best on your campaign. For those who would like to get in touch with Usha from the Cooper South constituency, her number is 620-2500. She's having regular walkabouts. If you would like to join her team, if you would like to volunteer, election day, we are always looking for polling agents. The sisters Hoover South, Hoover North, sorry, is a big constituency, and she's going to need that help. So please reach out to Usha if you would like to be a part of her team, if you would like to help her and the rest of Trinidad and Tobago on this rescue mission to save Trinidad and Tobago. Usha, my darling, I wish you a wonderful day today. And I hope I get to see you for at least an hour or two this morning on our PEP motorcade.
Yes, I'll be there. Thank you so much for having me
All right.
on.
You're welcome, darling. Bye-bye.
Safety and T, we vote MPP. Safety and T, Progressive Empowerment Party. TNT, we vote MPP. Safety and T, Progressive Empowerment Party. Now it's time for real change. We don't want no exchange. PEP is real change. The rest of them is exchange. Now it's time for real change. We don't want no exchange. Now it's time for real change. PEP, Safety and T, we vote MPP. Safety and T, Progressive Empowerment Party. TNT, we vote MPP. What you expect by PEP? Progressive Empowerment Party. Save TNT, vote PEP.
August 10th, save TNT, vote PEP.
Even Keith Rowley knows that the Progressive Empowerment Party is the only option to save Trinidad and Tobago. All right, we are back from that cute little commercial break. So funny. With our candidate for Arima, Miss Sharon Hernandez. Now, Sharon is an integral part of the Progressive Empowerment Party's East Hub. Her training in as an administrative assistant and front desk clerk has made her an invaluable part of the party's membership team. In that capacity, she spent hours of listening sessions with people from many walks of life. She has personally experienced the frustration of dealing with our dysfunctional system. She knows firsthand the obstacles faced by those who are differently abled but want to work for themselves. She overcame a difficult time being a self-taught seamstress and cook. She now uses her time to give back. As she said, at least twice for the month, I distribute food to the homeless and I try assisting anyone in any way I can, even though I myself sometimes don't have. The cry for change that she has heard from the people the cry for change that she has heard from the people and she herself feels motivated her to present herself as a candidate for Arima. Welcome to the program, Miss Sharon Hernandez. Good morning to you, Sharon.
Hi, Felicia. Morning. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Thanks for having me this morning.
It's an absolute pleasure. Welcome, ma'am. I see you are on the ground heavy, hitting it out of the park, doing your walkabouts, meeting with the people. How has that been going?
Yes, it is. It is something that they don't get. They get it once, and that is it. So they are very happy to actually see somebody doing the groundwork.
All right. Tell us about the constituency of Arima.
All right. My constituency is a wide area. Blanchishes, Paria, Lafayette, Aripo, all to Antigua Road. It's a very wide area. And the places that I have visited, and it is it is crying out for help. The people crying out for help in these areas, right? It's places that I am not new to. It's places that I have been to and driven through because if I see a road I don't know, I want to go into that road to see what is there. And many roads that I went into, it seemed like they don't exist because there are houses there, But when you look at the road, you may not want to go in with your vehicle. And then you're studying how these people reach there. And my area, there are a lot of young people. Do you know what it is to pass a decided road seeing young children when they're supposed to be in school? I'm not speaking about now, I'm speaking about years gone by. It is hard. You're seeing homeless people at the side of the road, right? So what is there really for the people of Arima constituency? And I hope everybody see or know what Arima constituency is.
All right. Tell us about the work that you're doing on the ground in Arima. I saw some of your walkabout pictures last night. Tell us about um, how is that going, meeting your constituency?
All right, we were greeted. We were greeted. It had a day we did a walk, and with that walk now it was raining, and people was like, come inside, don't get wet." They don't know who we are, but when some person wanted to know PNM, say no, they say, well, okay, come inside. And they greeted us. They greeted us with open arms. They say, like, PNM, UNC free to come here. They only come when it's time to get your vote. And after that, they don't ever see them again. There was a place in Antigua Road we went, and the man, he pulled back. He started to laugh. He said, "All is serious?" I say, "Why?" He said, "We have never seen anybody inside here," right? He said, "There are no street lights, the drainage," and you're hearing the same thing from everybody. No drainage, the lights, the crime, water. Water is a big issue in this time. People still don't have water in the pipe. A lady have to use rainwater, and she living on that land 24 years now because she cannot get connection.
Hmm.
So the people, when I tell you they voice their opinion, they talk, and I wouldn't say I was shocked because I know a lot of people are fed up of what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, and what they are looking at is that how they finding so many millions and billions of dollars to do things, but they're not finding it to actually help the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is their main concern. Why are we so forgotten?
Hmm. What has been the response to you in Arima so far?
All right, well, the areas I hit so far, the areas I went to, one or two persons, they said morning and they went they were. And when I mean one or two, I literally mean one or two. Everybody else was engaged in conversation. They wanted to find out more because what we, the groundworks people from Progressive Empowerment Party does, we don't just tell you we're going to give you employment. We actually explain to you how you go about to get employment. So I'm not coming and promising you, here what you're getting jobs, you're getting people to come in your area and just hand you hampers. I tell them we are not a party about promises. We are about a party to actually give the people something to work with. There's no more dreaming. No more dreaming. Too much of people dreaming. Progressive Empowerment Party coming to make that dream come true. So we have a lot of support.
Hmm. That's good to hear. It's really, really good to hear. And I know you started to mention some of them earlier, but if you can go into more detail, what are some of the major issues facing Arima?
All right, we have crime. Something that Arima really didn't know much about, right? We have crime. We also have the water. I myself have been in a position that bathing, you have to use bucket because the water not even self coming into the tank. And that happened for a good 2 months, I'm telling you. 2 months. You have to go by a standpipe if you wanted water. If water do come to your pipe, the main pipe in the front, that is the only place you was getting water at that point of time. 1 day for the week, 2 days, you're lucky if you catch it. Because remember, people that work, how they could stay and actually man the pipe to get water to full. I didn't cook for a good while because of that same issue, right? Roads, we know that already. We know that is a major thing because some holes we went in, your car actually tilting to the
Hmm.
side because you don't know it raining, so it's a puddle. If you don't know the road, you could damage your vehicle, right? Another thing that was a major problem, the people in the country, as we call them, the health system. When something happens to them up there, it have no way for them to get proper response, fast response from an ambulance, because that is like 20 miles, 25 miles out. And if you don't have a transportation, it is very hard. There was actually a lady child that got burnt with oil, and she had to wait from transportation from Arima to Paria, then from Paria back to Arima. And that is about an hour and something. So imagine this child being burnt with oil, and I don't mean hand or leg, body, the child whole body. How in this time that they don't have a facility place up there that could deal with this, that this child didn't have to wait about 2 hours to get help. So road health is major, major issues in these places. Employment.
Sharon, I see they recently opened or about to open a Arima hospital.
Say that again. Sorry, I didn't get you.
I said I see that they recently opened the Arima hospital, or they are about to open one in Arima. Am I mistaken?
They have a building.
Yeah.
It is
Well,
a
it's
building.
so is it so it's like a Cuba North scenario. We have a nice building where we cut a ribbon, but it is non-functional.
Nothing, nothing, nothing. They say they don't even have equipments in it. So why this big propaganda? And
You
you
know,
can't use it still. You still can't use it. So why was it placed?
I will never. It reminds me of the last administration. I remember when Kamala was getting ready to demit office, and some may see it as her trying to do as much work as possible. In my opinion, it was probably them realizing that there was no way in hell Trinidadians was going to vote them back into office, unless, of course, we took another 5 years of abuse from an even worse slave master, aka the PNM, which could be the only thing to make them look even remotely attractive again. But I remember when she was rushing to build all of these things to open Cuba North Hospital, to Cuba Children Hospital, to open this fire station in
Mayaro.
Mearu. Yes, and I remember people telling me that the fire station, the paint was still wet on the day that they cut the ribbon. And she was so proud to stand in front of it and say, "Look what we did for Mayaro." And I don't know if I don't understand how it doesn't hit them at this point. And if you come to build a fire station that cannot even is not even working, the paint not even dry, you don't even have the equipment, how is that really benefiting the people? How is an empty building that you spend probably 10, 20 times the actual value of it, how is that filtering back into the pockets of the people in the community? And how could you build a new Arima hospital and a new Cuba Children's Hospital when the Arima health facility in a state of disrepair?
And this is what the people saying, and the people that know, because I also frequent Mayaro, and what they're saying is that this building is there and they didn't have no equipments to use. They had to take from another fire station to put there. So how could you take away from one place that don't have already and put in another place? And how could you stand in front of a place and feel proud that it come like you give your child a car and the child's so proud, but when the child go, it has no engine, there's no wheels, there's no steering wheel. How could that possibly work for that child? You just give something, and I call it a front. It's just a front.
Yeah, it is. All right. So we spoke about the issues in the constituency of Arima. If you can fix 1 to 3 of these major issues, what would it be and why? Well, forget the why part. If you can fix 1 to 3 issues, what would they be?
Health, health. And the reason why I stress on health is because I have been a victim of it. My mother, my daughter. I know a lot of people. A guy we spoke to, he waited 3 years to get a mole cut and he never got it. He had to pay for it. 3 years waiting for a mole to cut and it would turn into an abscess. So see, he said he had no choice but to pay for it, right? I saw my mom on a corridor after getting a stroke, go into coma because they were waiting for two other persons to fill an ambulance. An ambulance is not a taxi service. Something as serious as a stroke, you waiting for two people, right? I find that was so unjust. My daughter had to get a scan, $10,000 for the scan. As a working citizen, if you don't have that money, what you will do? And then you're waiting months to get that same appointment, and this child bawl in pain. She cry out to mommy, and that hurt my heart because I thought I failed her as a parent, right? So health is a major issue I have, and why I love what Philip has there is that how he will have ambulance in place, his policies work 24/7, health facilities to accommodate these things, right? Another problem I am seeing is roads. Same thing again, it goes back to Aripo, Blanchishes, Paria, right? I have been on these roads, I believe since I even was before I was a thought, I have been on these roads. And it is a mess. People, if they carry you up there, the price, they're going to charge you higher, right? The normal taxi drivers, they have a lot of wear and tear on their vehicle, a lot of wear and tear, right? So roads will be a major issue for me, and I wish that one time we could fix that. Another thing is the youths seem to be forgotten, right? These places have no facilities, nothing to accommodate these youths, nothing positive, right? There's a community center I saw, and I actually had to stop and ask, what building is this? Because it didn't even show sign that this is a community center, right? And the youths need somewhere to go, something positive to get. Because if you have a working parent, you leave your child at home, the influences from the outside could carry that child somewhere else than what the parents want the child to do. A lot of time we want to blame the parents, but sometimes if a parent have to work, remember in this day and age, we hardly have grandparents that home seen about children. Grandparents are also working. So the youths are forgotten. They tend to get the attention from the wrong set of people, and therefore they involve themselves in crime. To them, it's nothing. It might just be a little how to put a challenge, a little dare. I dare you to do that, boy. Go on. And from there now you see the response that your peers love you, they dare with you, they come in, they check in you, but it's the wrong attention they get in. So the youths, where the crime is concerned, the road works and the health, once I am in there, that is my first three major goal.
All right. Which one of PEP's policies resonates the most with you and why?
Well, I think you would know that already,
Yeah.
the health system, right? Because seeing what I went through, knowing what I went through as a person, as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, his policies towards the health system, it is so great because here now you wouldn't have to wait 3 years to get an appointment. You wouldn't have to sit down on a hospital bench, as we call it, and each Trinidadian will know, wiping bench. That is what they call it, because you stay 9 hours to see a doctor and you just keep moving from bench to bench, so you just keep wiping it. And this is the policy that impacted on me. Now, there are a lot, but this one stuck out with me because of what I went through. I was bedridden for a year, and even when I tried to apply for disability grant, and it was a temporary disability grant, I was denied. They told me that I could earn a living, and this time I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. And it wasn't that I wanted a handout, I just needed to survive. That is why I asked for temporary disability grant, right? My physiotherapist did a letter for me and it was rejected.
In your own words, Sharon, why do you think the PEP is the best political vehicle right now in Trinidad and Tobago? And why are you representing us as a candidate for the PEP?
The truth. You see, the party stands on truth. That that is something so major for me. And I always love the fact that anything that is being said within the Progressive Empowerment Party, they could take it to court with it and you're winning. Because we're not on lies, we're not about the lies. And this so stand out to me that he was so compassionate to do this for his country. I have never seen anybody on the ground so much. I have never seen people so dedicated to the people of the country. And it just it just impacted on me so much that I wanted to become part of it. And becoming part of it, you tend to understand so much more.
We lost you there? Sharon? I think, did we lose Sharon? Let's see. Sharon, you hearing us? All right, I think we may have lost Sharon, unfortunately, because I'm hoping that she can come back on. I just wanted her to appeal to her constituents of Arima. So we'll wait a little bit and see if Sharon comes back on. In the meantime, today we are a busy party. We have our first motorcade in the northern region. As you know, our party is divided into 5 hubs: north, east, south, central, and Tobago. We are having a motorcade today, and not your typical motorcade that is just wine and jam music and pelt a t-shirt out at you and then leave you with nothing to edify your life. You have the opportunity to meet your candidates from the northern region. For Diego Martin Central, myself, Diego Martin Northeast, which is Philip Alexander, Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, which is Lima McLeod Wilkinson, St. Anne's East, which is Akil Camps, are we meeting Baratar, and Port of Spain South, which is Gail Castaneda. So today you can meet 5 of your candidates in the northern region, 5 of the candidates that will be going up for election on August the 10th. We will be on the truck speaking to you, talking PEP policy, giving out flyers. If you would like to be a part of that motorcade, which is starting in Diego Martin, you want to look out for us. We will be driving all the way through Diego Martin, through Saddle Road, Marval, down into Santa Cruz, into Belmont, down into Port of Spain, because it's going to be a nice long day of pep on the truck. And of course, we will be playing our theme song, our new song that Dan, our producer, played a little bit earlier. It's now on the airwaves, so if you turn on your radios and you would hear the pep new theme song for elections being played. Save TNT, vote PEP. It's a very catchy song, I have to say, and definitely something to rile up the voters, particularly those who are into music and culture like I am. Anything else? Yes, I made an appeal earlier on in the program, and I have to make that appeal again. We have just about 18 days left until election. Come election day, we are going to need polling agents. We are going to need volunteers to transport people. We're going to need as much help as possible. The the era for keyboard warriors is nearing an end. This, for many of us in the Progressive Empowerment Party, is an all or nothing shot. It means that at the end of this, we want to look back on August the 11th, when we look back, we want to say for the past 4 years, particularly the past month and a half, that there was nothing else, there was nothing further than we could have done, that we gave this 100%, we gave this 110, 140%, we gave this our all. That is it for me. Waking up on mornings to do this show, it is hard. I'm telling you, it is extremely hard when you're going to bed at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to wake up at 6 in the morning and you just feel so exhausted, knowing that you have another day ahead that is going to be full with activity. Today, like I mentioned, we are on the road for the entire day. You will probably see, because I'm not even bothering to hide it anymore. I have all of these bags under my eyes from just being, from a lack of sleep, being so tired and so exhausted. But like I said, come August the 11th, when I look back, I need to feel that sense of satisfaction. I need to know that there was nothing further that I can do. And I'm appealing for the same of you. I want you, those who say that you are PEP supporters, and you know that in actuality, you just watch the videos, maybe sometimes you like it, maybe sometimes you share it, but for the most part, you haven't been actively involved. The time to support your party, the time to come out from behind your computer screens is now. Because come August the 11th, if the Progressive Empowerment Party is not in government, your support, your liking the videos, your being a fan of Philip Alexander and myself and the team, it would have been for nothing if we cannot win an election. So please, I am appealing to you. I am reaching out to you, those who support the party, even if you cannot afford to contribute financially. Please, your time, your efforts, we need it. We need it, we need it, we need it right now. But those who can't afford to donate to the party, we also need that too. Because all of these things we are doing cost money. We don't have that financial war chest to drown out the radio stations and try to dominate the conversation with ads and jingles, but we are putting our best foot forward. We have gotten this far on the generosity. I'm losing my voice. We've gotten this far on the generosity of our PEP members, and we're just asking for it for a little longer, 18 days to be exact. We have TV shows to pay for. Last night we aired our first town hall on CNC3. It's the first in a series of town halls which follows the launch of candidates that we would have done 3 previous episodes before that. We're now in our fourth show, which aired last night, and we need to do at least 4 more. The reason for this, as you know, our party was born on social media, but there is still a percentage of the population that is not on social media that we are trying to reach. And in short time, if you can donate, if you would like to donate, reach out to me, Felicia Holder, on 769-4590. You can also visit our website at peptt.com if you would like to volunteer to do walkabouts to help on election day. You can also reach out to me, 769-4590. All or nothing, people. All or nothing. This party that you see in front of you here, this party that has been built and separate from the contract mafia, we are doing this. I told my mom, I said, Mommy, I never thought that I would be part of a political movement. And it's a movement. It's not just a political organization, it's a movement. I never thought that I'd be part of a political movement, much less chairman or head of finance for a political movement that is attempting to form the next government of Trinidad and Tobago. But I am absolutely certain, I am confident that put the PP in office, the things that you have dreamt about. Sharon was mentioning that, she doesn't want these to be dreams anymore, and she's right. The things that you have only ever dreamed about for Trinidad and Tobago, we want to make those things a reality. We want to make water 24/7 a reality, because it is not impossible. We get 100 times the amount of rainfall that we need as a country. The only thing is we just have not figured out how to catch, store, treat it, and distribute it across Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, we take it and we wash it down the drains and the rivers and into the ocean. But we in the Progressive Empowerment Party, we have a solution for that. We have a solution for dealing with crime. in almost every constituency, whether it's petty crime, whether it's more nefarious versions of crime. Crime is an issue in Trinidad and Tobago because we have not ever had a government who has addressed the root cause of crime, which is our not our unsecured borders, but that is part of it, dealing with the guns and drugs and stuff. But in terms of the social developments, there's so many poor people in Trinidad and Tobago, and to put this plainly, poor people. The root cause of crime is poverty. A man has children to feed, he has a family to take care of. Somebody comes and offers him $10,000 to make a run for him. Somebody comes and offers him $50,000 to take out somebody for him. Or drugs, guns, all of that is running on the block. There's a fight for turf war. All of this is happening in this country. We know governments have spent money to find out what to investigate Trinidad and Tobago. We have a Scott Job report that's parked up for the past 40 years doing absolutely nothing, because we know we are in narco state, but yet still we have not secured the borders. We know that we are a human trafficking hub, yet still there according to the Minister of National Security, there are over 120 points of entry, illegal entry around Trinidad and Tobago. Why continue voting for a government that can demonstrate such massive levels of incompetence? Why not vote for a government who is not just identifying the problem, but also coming hand in hand with the solution? Somebody told me 50,000 jobs. That's what the UNC is screaming. I said, can you explain how these 15,000 jobs are going to be created? Can you say how, in what industries and in what avenues are these jobs going to create? If they can't tell you that, then they don't have the answer. And don't just let them tell you 50,000 jobs. Prod them, poke them, ask them. That is what they're there for. If your MP, if your representative for your area cannot answer the questions and cannot tell you what his party is going to do, if he cannot explain it simply, then he doesn't know it. And then 9 out of 10, it doesn't actually exist. It's just more pretty words to fool you, more propaganda, more promises upon promises without results. We have had the UNC in government. We have seen what their government consists of. We have seen that their focus is on building buildings and opening fire stations and cutting ribbons. But the root cause, the people on the ground, those like Usha mentioned, the people who are the backbone of this country, they have not had anything to show for social development. They have not had anything to show for all of these years of government promises and MP promises and campaign promises. They have nothing to show for it. The definition of insanity, and I will continue using this phrase, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. This election, August the 10th, you have an opportunity to make a real change. Please do not waste it. Please do not let uncertainty, do not let lies and false promises dictate how you vote. Don't let tribalist, racist politics, don't let mommy and daddy and auntie and uncle tell you, we have been a UNC family all of our lives. You will bring shame on us if we vote. Don't study that. The voting booth is for you and you alone. If you believe in your heart of hearts that Trinidad and Tobago can be better on August the 10th, please make the right choice, the real right choice. Make the choice for real change, which is the Progressive Empowerment Party. Thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Sharon, I'm sorry I lost you, but you did leave your mark on the program. Sharon, we had Sharon Hernandez and Rohani Davidine, Couva North and Arima, respectively. Tomorrow, Hadassah will be hosting the show on my behalf as I hit the ground again. The motorcade continues. Trinidad and Tobago, thank you for joining me. I see we have a new COVID-19 case. So do remember to stay together by staying apart. But most importantly, on August 10th, save TNT, vote PP. See you. Well, I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye. Have a
Save TNT, we vote MPP. Save TNT, Progressive Empowerment Party. TNT, we vote MPP. Safety and tea, progressive empowerment party. Now it's time for real change. We don't want no exchange. PEP is real change. The rest of them is exchange. Now it's time for real change. We don't want no exchange. Now it's time for real change. PEP, safety and tea, we vote MPP. Safety and tea, progressive empowerment party. TNT, we vote MPP. What you by PEP? Progressive empowerment party. Save TNT, vote PEP.
August 10th, save TNT, vote PEP.
Save TNT, we vote MPP. Save TNT, progressive empowerment party.